I know the whole fries thing is that they're going out of business and they won't say it, but I mean, goddamn, this place is just empty. And it was pretty bad last time, but man, this time it's rough. Like, this table basically just looks like something at a funeral home where you would sign one of those books saying you were there. And that's kind of how it felt being here, at a funeral. Oh, fries. Boy, what did they do to you? You guys got any PS5s? Yes, fries is officially gone, but that doesn't stop this sad train rolling. And this week, as promised, we're going to get back into some video games. And we're going to start here with Disc Replay, our favorite around the town place to shop for games that haven't actually changed since late last year. And judging by this right here, you'll see exactly what we've got on display. It's not great. Though over here we do have a copy of Final Fight Guy. And going by eBay, this is a bit on the higher price side. This usually goes for anywhere from $200 to $400 for just the cart itself. $350 here is, like I said, it's a bit on the high side, but you know, whatever. It's not completely overpriced. But other than that, you'll quickly find just by going around to your local video game store, whatever, that the whole retro gaming market has pretty much just dried up thanks to the whole thing that's going on right now. Like last year around this time, you could actually go into these places and see a lot of people just selling off a lot of their gaming collections. It was kind of sad, you know, but obviously they need to make ends meet or just survive. And that was, you know, it was cool to see for a minute, just all this influx of craziness. But at the same time, all of that has just gone away since then. And what you're seeing here on these shelves is just a bunch of stuff that's been here for probably over, you know, pretty much a year at this point. I remember going back here in the summer last year and seeing the exact same things that are still sitting on these shelves. Over here, we've got Mortal Kombat Gold for $60 for some reason, I don't know why. And we've also got Assault Suit Lenos and Wipeout XL for the Saturn, which I didn't even know they made Wipeout XL for the Saturn. And also Silent Hill 2 for the PlayStation 2, which this whole series is just skyrocketing. The last year or so has just ballooned out of it's just crazy. I don't understand how this game it's so expensive these days. But just starting off, that's going to be it for Disc Replay. We're going to get to some actual places that aren't Disc Replay to maybe see that there's something that isn't stuck here from like late last year. Next up is Boss Battle Games. Now this place is in the mall on the north side of Indianapolis. This is in Castleton Square Mall. And this is one of those pay-as-you-go kind of arcades. You can pay so much and play for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes all day, depending on what you pay. It's actually a really cool place. And this place actually, it used to be on the east side of Indianapolis, in the worst mall in the city. And finally, after years, they got to move out of that up to the north side. And not 5 months later, COVID hit. And so that doesn't do too well for your business that focuses on people being very close together and, you know, touching things that everyone else has touched. That's, you know, it's an arcade. So that didn't do too well in the whole COVID era. But they're somehow still open. I'm shocked that they still are. And at the front of the store, they do have this selection of Nintendo-centric retro stuff that you can buy if you want to. There's actually some pretty cool stuff in here. And right here next to the Pikachu head, there's an Atari Jaguar just sitting there for $300. I ain't buying that for $300. Maybe someone will, but hey, it's there. It was kind of neat to see though. One of the things that, probably the coolest thing I saw all day, was this double player hiding on the side of the case here. I'd never actually seen one of these in person. If you don't know what the double player is, it's an NES accessory. Well, it's basically 2 wireless controllers for the NES that connects via the hub. You can kind of see it right there in the center of the box. Really neat. It didn't work very well, but for the time that it came out and the fact that wireless technology was pretty, it didn't work very well, it's kind of neat to see. But that's really going to do it for Boss Battle Games. I really wanted to put this in here so that if you are ever around the north side of Indianapolis, check this place out. It's such a cool little arcade. I don't want these places to go away. Next up is the Southside Flea Market, and I know what you're saying. Jeremy, you promised we wouldn't be going to sad flea markets. And yeah, we're going to a sad flea market, but I promise this place, Anything Gaming, is worth seeing. This place has been at this flea market for probably, it seems like almost like 2 decades at this point. But this guy, the guy that owns this place, has put a lot of work in it and turned it into something that isn't just a sad booth of junk. He's got a whole store here, and it's filled to the brim, basically, with all kinds of stuff. I mean, you can see here, there's just a ton of stuff that he's got up on the shelves. He also does repairs and everything else on like consoles. If you bring it in, anything that you sell him, he'll generally just repair it and make it work. He runs a tight shift here. One of those things being this little Pac-Man arcade cabinet from the 80s. I was so jealous of anyone that had that back in the day. I loved this thing. Up here we got a couple of 3DOs. 3DOs close to my heart. He's got it priced pretty well, especially the Panasonic one, which is the better model, the better quality one. And over here we've got some Sega CD games. If you notice, he's actually gone out of his way to print custom labels for all of these cases. Now, if you go to Disc Replay, they basically just print a cheap, shitty label that's, paper thin, and they stick it in there and they charge you the whole, like it was the actual inlet for the game. These are custom printed and they're nice prints. He's, like these Dreamcast boxes. Everything looks good. It may not be the original case or anything like that, but it's, it's nice quality, and it's cool that he does that stuff. But that's going to do it for Anything Gaming. Thanks to the owner for letting us come in there and video some of this stuff. It can be kind of hard on the weekends to get in there and just avoid all the people standing in there. But yeah, it's a cool place if you're around the Southside Flea Market in Indianapolis. Check it out. Again, Anything Gaming. Worth just going in and seeing all the crazy shit he's got. And finally, you knew I couldn't get out of this video without shoving some sort of toys down your throat. And this is Demes Toys, just south of downtown Indianapolis. This guy used to be a pop vendor mainly, as you can see from the roughly 7 billion pops lining the walls. But he kind of got into other things and got lots of toys and opened his own store. As you can see, and most of the time that we go here, it's kind of a hot mess. There's just stuff laying everywhere, and it's usually not organized in any real way. It's like kind of just digging through someone's basement of stuff that they've got. The result of that is that it could take you probably a day or more to just go through all of this stuff. I mean, this guy's got an absolute treasure trove of craziness here that I haven't seen since I was a kid. Literally not seen anywhere since I was a kid. So it's always cool to see, like, especially these old board games that from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Like Charlie's Angels, stuff like that's before my time. But man, like it's super cool to see a lot of this stuff. Just these old boxes, like Mystic Skull. Like, look how cool that is. I'm not paying $80 for that box, but goddamn, it's a cool ass box. Green Ghost Game, the exciting game of mystery that glows. Over here we've got some Pee-wee's Playhouse stuff. I was never really into Pee-wee's Playhouse as a kid. It always kind of creeped me out. I like Pee-wee, I like the movie, but yeah, the actual show itself, I don't know. These puppets are weird. But right next to that, oh my God, It's the New Kids on the Block stage playset. In case you forgot about the New Kids on the Block, which hopefully you can't forget about them. You can make your own concert. Over here in the Star Trek toys, now admittedly I was never a big Star Trek toy person, kid, whatever. Never watched it too much, but these are, you know, it's a pretty cool little collection of Star Trek stuff, including this like Polly Pocket thing that's inside a Klingon's head. And right next to this handsome lad right here, Commander Riker. And not only is it Commander Riker, it's the Insurrection Commander Riker. And what purpose is that?
The purpose being, I intend to shove it down the Sona's throat.
Oh, you're not shoving this doll down anybody's throat today, Mr. Riker. It's just too handsome. But right next to that, you've got the Star Trek Bridge playset. This is the Next Generation. Holy God, I didn't even know this was a thing. But wow. I mean, for this goes for like $100 to $200 on eBay. I didn't actually see the price on the thing that when I was there. But wow, this thing is pretty cool. I love old playsets from the 80s and early 90s. They were just massive. Speaking of massive, look at the girth on this thing. It's the G.I. Joe Terrordrome. I mean, like I said, look at these playsets. These are huge. You just really don't see anything like this anymore. I mean, obviously no parents could put this inside of their apartments or houses at this point. It takes up an entire room, but god damn, that's huge. I could go around this place for probably an hour and just take video of it, including this awesome AT-AT, but generally this is what this place is. I mean, it's not the best prices on anything. A lot of this stuff is way too highly priced, but it's still really cool to come in here and see stuff that literally I haven't seen since, you know, back when I was a kid at Kmart or something. But folks, that's gonna do it for another one of these videos. I mean, not too bad this time. We did have some video games and, you know, of course some toys, but in the future, I promise the next video, I'm gonna get out of Indianapolis. I'm gonna see what's around. But like I said, the whole retro video game market and toy market for that much is kind of drying up. So we'll see what we can find and do for the next video. But thank you so much for sticking around and watching this mess of a video. Until next time, everyone, my name is Jeremy, and we'll be back next time to see what ungodly messes of 80s video games and toys we can manage to find.